You need to develop people who have the qualities you lack. Usually, there are many different people, but you should have at least one thing you are confident about in Atomy. So now it's about survival for all of you. And these days, more and more skilled people are joining. Back in the day, like 10 years ago, you could say, oh, I have bad credit. Or I only graduated from elementary school. But that's all in the past. It's not like that anymore. So now what you need is something you can say, within Atomy, I'm confident in this. You need to have something you're determined about. A specialty. So what is that? It could be sales. Second, you might be good at supporting others. Or maybe you can explain marketing and present the vision. You need to have something like this. If you don't have any strengths, you'll inevitably fall behind more and more. Why? Because things are changing now. Good people are coming in. So then you might feel, oh, it's unfair. Why is it only me? Are you just going to blame the world? That's not possible anymore. Now, many people know that you can make money with Atomy, so it's gradually spreading. So now you need to develop your own secret weapon. For example, if you're good at sales, who should you look for? First of all, if you're good at sales, that can be your strength, right? Because you can boost sales and support your partners well. But on the other hand, people who are good at sales often find it hard to duplicate their success. Why is that? People see how that person does it. So what happens then? They think, I can't sell like that. How could I possibly sell like that? With these thoughts, they start to see it as a sales business. So what happens then? But what I notice as a common trait is that people who are good at selling tend to be easygoing. They don't really care about their appearance. They're bold and like to approach people. What kind of personality is that? Kind of like an ajuma, right? If you think about the image, there are a lot of ajumas with permed hair who don't really wear makeup and wear loose pants. In that case, can you really present the Atomy vision? No, you can't. But if you say, let's succeed with Atomy, who would want to follow that person? No one would follow. So, while that person may have strengths, what's their fatal flaw? It's that not many people would look at that person and get so passionate that they see Atomy as a real business opportunity. It's just that people who think, if only I could become an auto sales master and make about 2 million won a month from direct sales, tend to gather together. But there's a limit to that. So what kind of people should these individuals look for? You need to quickly nurture young people who are trustworthy, realistic, and seem capable of presenting a vision. Just because you're good at sales and want to move up the ranks quickly and make money fast, it doesn't mean you should just keep bringing in people who are good at selling. If you do that, this could turn into a direct sales business with no margin. That's why you need to choose young people who can present the vision that we are not a sales business. But today, the sponsors who came to our center looked like ordinary housewives, not wearing makeup and with curly hair, but underneath them, there were young a show host. See, the atmosphere changes, right? A young person has already joined. I'm really grateful for that. It means the balance is just right. So what happens if you nurture those kinds of people well? But everyone, for those people to really immerse themselves, you have to focus on them. So even if there are many people, you need to focus on that person. So what happens if that person attends a seminar and presents the vision? That person will end up doing all the talking. So what should I do well? Since they're good at selling, I just need to nurture them. Stay in the background, don't step forward, support from behind. You need to put that person at the front, give them the stage, and keep creating opportunities for them to lecture on stage. Do you understand what I mean? Now let's talk about people who are good at providing support. But when it comes to support, for example, I may not have much experience, but I have some financial leeway. Let's say I'm a wealthy person from Gangnam. These days, so many different kinds of people are joining Atomy that I might actually have assets in Gangnam and about 1 billion won in cash. So investing 1 or 200 million won in Atomy is nothing to me, and I want to invest in the Atomy business. There are people like this, right? So what should we do with people like that? These kinds of people, I've tried supporting people with money too, but the truth is this network business ultimately comes down to experience. Because it's a matter of experience and skill, money alone doesn't really work. In the end, if you just trust them and say, do it your way, it usually doesn't work out well. So, what you need to do with people like this is to have thorough consultations with your sponsor. But the sponsor you consult with should be someone who is good at building and growing an organization. Why? Because sometimes it can work with capital as well. If the sponsor just sets the right direction, supports this person, and does things properly, why is that? Then, since the sponsor has experience, let's say that person invests capital. In that case, the sponsor can also manage and nurture that person. So, if you want to do it with money, then you need to join hands with a leader who is good at managing and guiding as a sponsor. But the best thing is, even if you have capital, you should support and nurture that person based on your own experience and knowledge, not just blindly throwing money at it. It's good to use about 100 to 200 million won as business funds to help someone grow their Atomy business well. But if you just become a Sharon Rose master all at once by buying your rank, thank you, but in my opinion, that's really not all that helpful. I also became a Sharon Rose master in just 1 year, and while I don't regret achieving the rank, in the end, there were both advantages and disadvantages. But you really shouldn't try to maintain it unnecessarily, and if you just go for it because you have the money, you'll definitely regret it. So you need to do it at the right time, when it's appropriate. Why? Because appearances matter too, right? And when you go through it, you realize there are these kinds of trial and error. You'll never know unless you actually walk that path. So in that sense, it's good, but you really need to hold hands with a sponsor and leader who can guide you in the right direction. That's extremely important. And for those who are good at marketing and presenting a vision, what should you do? Actually, I'm this kind of case. I'm the third type. For people like this, you should sell to me enthusiastically, apply the products to me, sell to me diligently, and while supporting your partners, give points to those you want to support and provide support. If you explain the business and the vision to those people, what do you think will happen? Those people become passionate and work like crazy. So if there are types 1, 2, and 3, I think the third type of business suits Atomy the best. Rather than just being good at selling, it's actually called an education business. That's what network marketing is. So, people who are good at counseling, explaining the marketing plan, connecting people, organizing teams, presenting a vision, and inspiring others to follow them, those kinds of people actually help Atomy organizations grow even more.